So I've got a couple of booms where the grip is pretty well worn out now, and seen on the old school windsurfers group a few people trying out this kind of heat shrink material that is designed for fishing rods, and basically you heat it up with a heat gun, and it shrinks down over your boom. Seen a few cases where people are stripping all of the old grip off. Where mine was patchy, this is kind of a here's one I made earlier, as I've already gripped this one tonight. What I've done is just taken off the loosest and worst parts of the old grip, and then put this stuff underneath. They seem to sell it pretty much everywhere. I'm going to try and zoom this in so that you can see this. This gives an idea. They sell it as fishing rod grip and angling supplies on eBay, and it comes in different sizes. What I've bought here is the 35mm one. Went for one that shipped basically within the UK, just because it seems to, save shipping time with buying stuff in the past. And this came in a week, basically. This boom that I've already done, this is a Tushingham Gold that I bought a year or two ago, and basically the aluminium is still good, but the grip is really coming off in swathes. So good to try and do something about it. I've also got this one. It's an old MK boom. Never actually used this one because, again, it's missing quite a lot of the grip, especially as I've cut some of the loosest bits off as well. But the aluminium is still good on this. It's not too corroded at the front or anything like this. It's basically got potential to use. So I guess one of the things you could do, and I have seen people do this, is kind of completely disassemble the boom. And I thought about undoing the front end, make it easier to kind of get the stuff to go over here. But what I've done, had to take some fittings off the back, but brought this on from the back end, which seems to work perfectly okay. And you can see it slides on easily enough. This hasn't shrunk down yet, and you can see it gathers up quite a lot. There's quite a lot of movement there, especially where the boom kind of curves. What I found heating it up is it's like magic, really. It shrinks down pretty well. It does seem to need the heat of a heat gun. Can't be sure, but I don't think a hairdryer would have quite enough heat. What I'll try and do is just have the GoPro on as a head cam and kind of put the other side on. And if I can get the camera in close, it might be possible to kind of see the stuff as it shrinks down onto the boom. But like I say, it gives a pretty good finish. Hopefully the angle won't be too far wrong. And this stuff just comes packed and folded like this. Like I say, I've seen a few pictures of the finished product, but this was a chance to actually have a go with it. It's as it probably showed on the web page there, in the UK this is about £5 a length delivered. I think I got 4 meters of it for, I think it came out at 21 quid, which doesn't seem too bad. It's not too much to invest if it doesn't really work. I'm quite interested because it shrinks down nicely, but my feeling is that if anything nicks this or pulls on it, it doesn't really have any adhesive or such, so it may come off in quite big bits or layers later on. But it doesn't have to last forever, and it's just an experiment, really. What I've done, it's not like I've done this hundreds of times, but just been trying to sort of shape this a little bit as it comes out of the packet. What I found is it tends to snag the boom arms a little bit as it goes down, but once you get it on there, it seems to be okay. Where some of the grip is still on the boom, I've tried to remove the bits that are blatantly sliding around, and I've got no glue left underneath. But you do have to wiggle it a bit at least if you do it my way and decide to go over the grip. What I found with this stuff is that it's really quite thin in itself. It does feel quite like boom grip though. It's got that slightly kind of soft kind of felty feel to it. So if you do put it onto bare metal, I think it would feel okay. Just a little bit there. It's rucked up. I didn't spend hours stripping the boom down, and I think especially this bit, there's a whole piece missing all the way around the grip, so say a little bit of a wiggle to try to get it to go over. There it goes. And I found actually pulling from this end seems to get it moving, as much as trying to pull from down at the bottom. With the other one I could stay a little bit further away from the boom clamp. I saw some that people have done where they've actually gripped the whole arm, re-gripped the whole arm. You know, make the whole boom look like new. I felt that for the sake of an experiment, I would start. This comes in lengths of 1 metre. I think you can buy it longer, but this is 1 metre and seems to cover pretty much, if it makes sense, the part of the boom that you're actually holding on to most of the time while you're sailing. As it goes round the curve, it gets just that little bit harder to get the thing on there. But I want to try and bring this fairly tight to the end. Again, I saw ones people have done on Facebook where they've completely disassembled the boom, put the whole length on, and they've managed to tuck the stuff neatly under the fittings that you get at the end, you know, make a really, really neat job. I'm not aiming for that really. Mostly just looking for better grip, less bare metal under me hands while I'm sailing, basically. So this looks pretty good, basically. Won't keep the camera going for ages, but if it does film, I'll try and get a little bit of heating it up with the heat gun, and with a bit of luck I'll get in as close as I can with the camera, and it might show the stuff actually shrinking down onto the tubes a little bit. With the other one I started at the clamp end, and it seemed to work okay, so I'll do the same again, and did one arm at a time. Ancient heat gun, but it does the job. Try not to melt the plastic things as well for the little stands. And I've got this on the low setting. It's on number 1. I did the first lot indoors. Take a little bit to warm up. May turn the heat up a little bit, but I thought we'll start conservatively to begin with. I found pulling this back a little bit as well helps. Yeah. Might get a little bit more heat going on this. That's going on better now. Hoping that you could actually see it shrinking down onto the boom a bit. There'll be a few dimples and imperfections because where some of the grip is still there, so it'll leave some bumps. There's us working our way down, trying to get the heat on all the way round. There we go. Looking pretty good. You see the bumps where the grip is off in some places and on in others. But I think that's pretty well bonded on there. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. And makes your boom look new. Just got the other side to do, but I'll turn the camera off for a minute and get a quick shot once it's all done. There we go, so this is done now, and hopefully you can see the grip is on there pretty nicely. It really shrinks down, but doing this outdoors, had to use pretty much the highest setting on the heat gun. And you can see the texture there where some of the grip is on and some of it's off underneath. So this is really acting a bit like a kind of like a posh version of a bandage, really. Hold it all in and provide a decent surface to hold on to. The next steps with this old MK will look like putting the ends back on the boom, refitting all of this, and then putting the back end on the adjusting the adjusting bit. But yeah, there we go. Pretty good job.